Graham joins us. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
I can't tell whether you ripped the president more on foreign policy or the Washington Post editorial board when they described it fantasy, but you said that the president has a weak and indecisive policy that invites aggression.
Right. This is a symptom of a greater problem. It really, in many ways, started with Benghazi when our consulate was overrun and our first ambassador was killed in 30-something years in the line of duty. 3 other brave Americans died, and not one person's been held accountable. You're sending absolutely the wrong signal to our foes around the country. And Putin's not going to stop his aggression until he feels a sting. The best way to get his attention is to go after his rich friends, the oligarchs in Russia who are making billions by ripping off the Russian people, stealing their money. Don't let them travel to Europe and throughout the world and live a high life. Don't let them do business as normal. That would really, I think, sting Putin.
How serious is this military intervention in Crimea for the American people?
Terribly, because it sends a signal to all those who oppose Putin. You cannot count on the United States if this ends badly. Putin is doing a very good job of suppressing freedom and democracy inside of Russia. It is a very totalitarian-like state now. And all these countries, the Balkan states, Latvia, Estonia, Georgia, the Ukraine, who've been trying to chart a different path, become democracies, are feeling the wrath of Putin. And if we don't stand up and show some support for countries like the Ukraine, he will continue this. It's never good when a Russian, basically autocratic dictator is intimidating people in that part of the world at our expense.
What do you think President Putin is thinking about President Obama and the United States?
I think he is basically come to the conclusion after Benghazi, after Syria, after Egypt, after everything that Obama's been engaged in. He's a weak, indecisive leader. I think Putin believes that he's going to grab the Crimea and march eastward until somebody pushes back, and that he sees President Obama as a weak character. You don't talk to Putin for an hour and a half on the phone. You have about a 5-minute conversation. You say, Mr. President, what you're doing is wrong. It's illegal. You're breaking the 1994 agreement between Russia and the Ukraine. You're outside of the international law, and we will take decisive action unless you withdraw immediately. You don't stay on the phone with a guy an hour and a half. I think Putin believes that Obama is really all talk and no action, and unless we push back soon, the worst is yet to come.
Pushback, is that economic sanctions, or are you suggesting even something more, military presence?
We don't need a military intervention in the Ukraine. We need to help their economy. We need to punish the people around Putin who travel and live like kings throughout the world. We need to stop business as usual. We should kick Russia out of the G8 and the G20. We should put Georgia, a neighbor to Russia, in NATO to protect their interest. And we should protect our allies in the region and make the people around Putin pay a heavy economic price.
All right, so what does that mean, though, as we try to get help from Putin with the Iran's nuclear weapons program and with Syria and their chemical weapons?
It means you can't rely upon Putin to do anything that's in our best interest. The chemical weapons deal that the Russians negotiated has been a disaster for us. Our Director of National Intelligence said Assad is stronger because of the chemical weapons deal. They ate our lunch in Syria. You can't rely on the Russians to stop the Iranian nuclear ambition. The problem we have right now in the world, that America is not perceived as strong, and we're inviting aggression. The only way you're going to get the Iranians' attention is for them to believe that we will hit them militarily, or that sanctions will stay in place unless they change their behavior. And really, Russia is about Iran as much as it is anything else.
All right, when you say the United States is not perceived as strong, are you saying we are weak?
I'm saying that our allies in the Gulf see us as a weak ally, and that our enemies are emboldened. Look at what's going on in the world. Al-Qaeda is coming back, and Russia is on the march. Now, President Obama, if he continues this, you're going to send absolutely the worst signal to the Iranians. The Iranians have to believe, after this debacle in Syria and now Russia, that Barack Obama does not mean it when he says all options are on the table. If the Iranians do not believe that military action is on the table, they're going to march toward a nuclear capability, putting Israel in a world of hurt. The world is never in a better place when you have a weak, indecisive American president, and Russia is a symptom of that weakness. And again, it started with Benghazi. When you kill Americans and nobody pays a price, you invite this type of aggression.
Senator, thank you, sir.